Most people spend their entire lives chasing goals, chasing success, chasing happiness, always thinking that once they arrive somewhere out there, they'll finally feel fulfilled. But what if everything you're chasing is already available to you now, not through force, but through alignment? This isn't about giving up on your dreams. It's about understanding a higher way to realize them. Bob Proctor often said, "You don't get what you want. You get what you are." That one sentence can change your life, if you let it, because it reveals the secret that the majority of people miss. Manifestation doesn't start with action. It starts with identity. You've been told to hustle harder, to push, to grind. But that mindset keeps you locked in a cycle of struggle. It keeps the very thing you want just out of reach. Why? Because by chasing your goal, you're affirming to the universe that you don't yet have it. You're reinforcing the vibration of lack, of separation, of need. The truth? You must become a vibrational match to what you desire. That means, instead of chasing success, you feel the frequency of success within. Instead of pursuing abundance, you embody it. Instead of hoping for love, you radiate it. And when you do, life responds. The shift begins with awareness. Begin to notice how often you're operating from a place of lack. I need this. I'll be happy when I'm not there yet. All of those are frequencies of resistance. But once you realize that you've been conditioned to think this way, you gain the power to break free from it. Bob Proctor taught that the key isn't outside of you. It's in how you think, how you feel, and who you believe you are. The subconscious mind is always listening. So every time you speak about what you don't have, it takes it as a command. But when you speak, act, and feel as if your desire is already yours, your subconscious begins to believe it. And the moment it believes, your outer world begins to change. Now ask yourself, what if instead of asking, "How do I get there?" you asked, "How do I align with it now?" That's the real secret. It's not about chasing. It's about attracting. It's not about doing more. It's about being more. Being more aligned, more aware, more intentional. Your life is not a to-do list of goals. It's a vibrational reflection of your state of being. So, if you want new results, you don't just need a new plan. You need a new identity. And now, how do you access your subconscious and install a new version of yourself? The answer is simpler than you might think, but it requires awareness, repetition, and commitment. And that's exactly what we're going to explore now. Bob Proctor taught that the first step to reprogramming your mind is to take control of what you allow into it. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between truth and lies. It just accepts it. Anything that is repeated with emotion becomes a belief. Everything. So if you've been told for years that you're not capable, that you're not enough, that you don't deserve it, your mind has accepted that as fact. And now it works to keep that belief alive. The good news is, if it has learned that, it can also unlearn it. The first step is awareness. You need to start observing what you think every day. What are your internal dialogues? What do you say to yourself when something goes wrong? Do you curse yourself? Do you blame yourself? Do you put yourself down? Realize that you are, without knowing it, reinforcing your negative programming. Bob said, "You are not what you think you are, but what you think, you become." Self-awareness is the beginning of all transformation. Start observing your thoughts as if you were watching a movie, without judgment, but with clarity. After that comes the most powerful step of all, the conscious repetition of new ideas. The subconscious only learns through repetition. There is no point in saying once that you are capable, if for the rest of the day you sabotage yourself. It is like trying to put out a fire with a glass of water. You need to reprogram with strength, intention, and consistency. And this is where affirmations, visualizations, and the use of creative imagination come in. Bob Proctor said that imagination is the language of the subconscious. When you imagine something intensely, your body reacts as if it were real. Your heart accelerates, your breathing changes, your emotions flare up. This means that you can teach your subconscious a new reality using only your mind. This is how the reprogramming process begins. Every day, when you wake up and before you go to sleep, these are the times when your mind is most receptive. Take a few minutes to visualize the life you want to live. But don't just see it, feel it. Imagine yourself living the life you want. Imagine it in detail. Where you are, what you're wearing, how you're feeling, who's with you. Put emotion into it. Emotion is the fuel that imprints the new programming. Along with visualization, practice powerful affirmations. But be careful. It's not enough to just repeat them mechanically. You need to feel the truth behind the words. Say things like, I am prosperous. I am worthy. I am capable. I am loved. I have everything I need inside me. At first, your mind may resist. It may seem false, but persist, because that's how the old programming begins to lose its power. Bob Proctor used a simple and extremely powerful technique called self-image. He said that every human being carries an image of themselves in their subconscious. This image determines everything: how much you think you deserve to earn, how you handle challenges, what kind of people you attract, even how you walk and dress. Change your self-image, and everything around you changes with it. To change that self-image, you have to act like the person you want to become, even before you feel ready. This sounds counterintuitive, but it works. Start behaving as if you were already the highest version of yourself. Ask yourself, what would the person I want to be think? How would they wake up? How would they talk to others? How would they react to problems? Then act on those answers. This sends a clear message to your subconscious. This is the new identity. And over time, that identity becomes natural, automatic, true. Another point Bob made was your environment. You need to protect your mental space. Negative people, toxic news, destructive conversations. All of these reinforce the old programming. Be mindful of what you consume, who you hang out with, what you focus on. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant flowers, weeds will take over. Choose carefully what you put into your mental field. Bob also talked a lot about the importance of decision. Most people live their lives waiting until they feel ready to change. But the truth is that decision comes before transformation. You decide first, and the universe responds. He said, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to become who you want to be. And that willingness starts with a firm decision. Decide today that you will no longer live on autopilot. Decide that you will take the wheel of your life. Decide that your subconscious mind will be your ally, not your prison. This is where many people fail. They understand the concept, they even start enthusiastically, but they give up before the change happens. This is because they expect immediate results. But the subconscious mind needs repetition, it needs consistency, it needs patience. It took you years to program yourself this way. It won't change overnight. But it will change, and when it changes, everything around you will change too. Another essential factor in the reprogramming process is gratitude. Bob always said that gratitude is the highest vibration you can emit. When you feel gratitude for something you don't yet have, you are telling the universe, I already received it. And the subconscious understands this as truth. It starts to operate based on this reality. So, be grateful every day. Be grateful for what you have, but also for what is to come. Be grateful as if it were already real. You may be asking yourself, but what if I don't believe it? What if it seems like a lie? And the answer is, keep going anyway. Because over time, the new programming becomes stronger than the old one. You will notice that you start to think differently, feel differently. Act differently. Opportunities appear. The right people come to you. Life begins to align with your new identity. Bob Proctor always said, "You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are." So, the secret is to be now what you want to be in the future. It doesn't matter what's happening outside. What matters is what's happening inside, because the external world will always reflect the internal one. Always. So, to recap, observe your thoughts. Visualize with emotion. Repeat powerful affirmations. Act like your future self. Decide firmly. Cultivate gratitude. Protect your mind. And, above all, don't give up halfway. The transformation is invisible at first, but it is happening. Silently, deeply, really. You are not alone in this process. We are all reprogramming, evolving, awakening, and every step you take towards your new self inspires others to do the same. Because deep down, we are all searching for one thing: freedom. Freedom to be who we truly are without the constraints of fear, guilt, and doubt. And this freedom begins within the mind. And now, take a deep breath. Let all the effort, the tension, the pressure fall away. You don't need to force your future anymore. You don't need to hustle your way to fulfillment. You don't need to chase anything, because everything you're looking for is already within you. Bob Proctor taught that the law of attraction is activated not by effort, but by frequency. The more you align with who you truly are, calm, abundant, joyful, free, the more life begins to mirror that identity. The goals? They'll come. The results? They'll appear. But by then, you'll realize it was never about chasing them. It was about becoming someone who naturally attracts them. So today, make a decision. Not to work harder, not to struggle more, but to trust deeper. Decide to live from your goal instead of for it. Decide to feel the success before it happens. Decide to act like the version of you who already has it. Right now. Because once you do, the world around you will begin to shift. Not because you pushed, but because you aligned. You're not here to chase results. You're here to raise your frequency so that the results chase you. And if this message reached you today, it's not by accident. You were meant to hear this. You were ready to hear this. Now the question is, will you trust the power that's already inside you? Because the moment you do, your entire life begins to change. This is just the beginning. Follow for more content that transforms the way you think.